everyone. Today, I want to welcome Anthony Melchiorri to my expert interview series. Anthony is a hospitality consultant and hotel transformation expert. He hosted 3 shows on the Travel Channel, including Hotel Impossible, which lasted 9 seasons. He is the best-selling author of a new book entitled Show Up, The 5 Steps to Getting Out of Your Own Way. Welcome, Anthony. Thank you for taking the time.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, and thank you for being such a supporter.
Absolutely. I've got a number of questions today. If you're ready, we can jump right in.
Sure.
In your new book, you outline how to show up for yourself, including the principles you live by that have helped you level up in your career. You suggest things like doubling down on yourself, leveraging your strengths, working hard to achieve your goals, and obsessing over the details. So I wondered, what made you decide to write the new book, and who is it for?
Well, it's not even I made a decision to write the new book. It's been a 10-year process. It's more like I had to write it. It's just one of those things that just happened, And so I just started putting my thoughts on paper and worked with John Walcott, who's an incredible collaborator. And over a period of, I started 10 years ago, but me and him about 2 years. And the book is really for anyone that's interested in understanding. I have a philosophy of no one cares. So if you're going to get that promotion, you want that job. I had somebody reading the book and he DM'd me and he said, I was going for a job and I can't remember the country, but he had to get on a plane and he decided he wasn't going to go because it was too far and he probably wouldn't get the job anyway. He was not even halfway through my book, put the book down, literally booked the flight, got the interview, got the job. So it's for people to understand is if you get on the plane or you don't get on the plane, nobody cares. And so whatever you're going to do, there's a story in there where I guarantee the headhunter their percentage of my fee because they didn't want to put me up for the GM job, my first GM job, because I don't have enough experience. And I said, well, I'll pay your fee. I signed a little contract with him and I got the job. I thank God because I didn't really have the money at the time to pay his fee. But my point being is no one cares. You got to do it or you don't do it.
And what did you know that the headhunter didn't know?
There's a couple times in your life where your feeling is stronger than your experience, stronger than your brain. It's almost from God. It's just a feeling. So it was like saying, what's your name? And I say Anthony. You say, no, it's not. And I go, no, my name's Anthony. You're not going to get the job. Oh no, I'm going to get the job. Like it was just, it wasn't anything other than that job was mine. It was destined. I knew it. And I can never explain it. And I never really think about it, but it was one of those moments where I willed it.
And there was a point in your career when you discovered your passion for turning around underperforming hotels. You tell the story in the book of the time when you decided to leave the Lucerne for the Algonquin Hotel. How did you come to understand that hotel transformation was your gift?
It wasn't about whether I thought it was something I'm good at or not. It was just these are the positions that became available. And no one was calling me from Marriott. No one was calling me from Hilton, the Four Seasons, or St. Regis. I wasn't from that. I didn't know anybody in that world. I knew the people I knew that owned hotels, and I made a name for myself at the Lucerne. And then somebody, I don't know how they found me. Oh no, I do know how, because I tell the story in the book. Keith Kefchin from HVS put me on a list of 47 people. Little did I know, a year later, after our first interview, he calls me back and we had another breakfast at the Marc Hotel. And I said, what took so long? He goes, well, we had to go through, I was 43, I think, I can't remember. And I had to go through all other 40 people before I got to you. I think, what? He goes, yeah, one person didn't make it, one person took the job, whatever it was. And I said, why am I at the bottom of the list? He goes, because there's people at the top of the list and there's people at the bottom of the list. And but when I did my interview with the ownership, they loved me, I loved them, and and it took them a while to get me. But then I decided to go from that cushy job where I was making good money on the Upper West Side, no union, no food and beverage, no anything, up and down, making just as much money as probably most GMs. And they really liked me and I really liked them. And then the owners of the Algonquin really wanted me to come, and so it wasn't so much that I consider myself a transformation expert, as opposed to I need to eat and feed my family, and the only way to do that is to get that check. And so early in my career, it was just about doing a good job. So I didn't have anything to fall back on. So if I didn't do a good job, I didn't make money. And then it became this passion of, you give me a hotel and I will change it. I will turn it around. And that just came out of understanding how to identify really good employees, terminate employees that aren't working, and go find the greatest talent I can find. And not that money's no object, but money's not a stumbling block if you really want to assemble a good team. And I say, I don't want to be around average people or good people. I want to be around extraordinary people, because if I'm around extraordinary people, I'm out of breath trying to keep up with them. And so I just try to really bring on extraordinary people that are smarter and better than I am. And so if you say, what's my gift for turning around hotels? Find really smart people and get out of their way.
Along those lines, I wondered, all those seasons of Hotel Impossible, is there a formula to turning around hotels or a framework? What are you looking for? Where do you focus?
The first thing I do is I'll give you an example. When I was running Nickelodeon resorts in Orlando, I spent 24 hours walking around the property, waving to people and stuff, but not really engaging, and writing a list of things that I see. So on the list at the Nickelodeon, I had 500 things on my list by the end of the day. Not 499, not 501, 500 exactly, and not on purpose, just by happenstance. And I wrote them all down, put them in my drawer, and never looked at them. Never once did I pick that list up. Not on purpose. I just never looked at it again. And what's the purpose of that? The purpose of that is, if I call a meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning, my first meeting, and it's okay, here I am, my name's Anthony, blah, 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 look forward to working with you. So what are the top concerns of the hotel? They're going to tell me. And they are part of the problem, or I wouldn't be there. Not all of them, but some of them. And I wouldn't be there. So they're going to give me their version of the problem. If I'm running around the hotel for 24 hours and I happen to run into the housekeeping department and look on the shelf and see only one par of linen, and when there's supposed to be 3 pars, I know the problem in housekeeping. I don't have to be told that the young ladies, the young men aren't cleaning fast enough. The service scores are low. Well, the service scores are low because they don't have supplies. The front desk is really, really, it's got a long line. Not because we're short staffed, is because they didn't schedule right. Because I saw 2 people, during shift change at check-in at 3 o'clock, when they're supposed to be 6. So change instead of doing shift change at 3, do the shift change before check-in. So those are the things that I want to gather myself, before somebody influences me. And then I want people's opinions. And then I go about knowing, one of the things I say, there's a yellow bus outside. It's free. It's going wherever you want it to go. So please get on it if you don't want to be on this journey. And I'm insane. And if you don't want high standards, and you don't, people's money's at risk. When I took over these hotels, there's a lot of money, not $50,000, which is a lot of money. We're talking 50 million, 100 million. Nickelodeon was way over 100 million. And so if I'm coming in, that means they're in trouble. I don't have time to dilly-dally. We have to have great people that want to have fun. One of the things I did a predictive index recently on myself, and it said one of the paramount things is I'm an analyst, but I have to have fun. So I have to have fun. If I'm working and turning around a hotel, I can't do 12 hours and 14 hours of just intense work. I have to joke and laugh and have fun and make myself an idiot, and embarrass myself and just to relieve the stress. So we have fun, but if you don't have extraordinary people around you, you can't have fun.
And you tell the story of the Nickelodeon in your book, and I was surprised, honestly, by how honest you were with the staff. You said in your first meeting with the team, you told them it was going to be difficult, and you've never managed to turn anything around that was that big. And
I've never worked in Orlando. I never worked at an entertainment hotel. I never worked at I never ran 100,000 square feet of pools. I never had, I think, 1,500 employees, 1,200 rooms, whatever it was, 5 acres, um, with all these buildings. So who better than me to run your hotel? And they all laughed.
Yeah.
And, because vulnerability is something a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people try to hide, especially men, right? We try to hide our vulnerability. And I never want to be the butt of the joke. I want to be part of the joke, and I want to know the joke. So if I'm the joke, I'm going to tell you I'm the joke. And that way I take away your strength. So if you're going to make fun of me, I'm in on it. So they obviously know I came from New York. You already get that New York kind of attached to you, and he's not going to tell us what to do, and he thinks who he is, and he only ran smaller hotels, and we'll show him. Well, if I come in and say, well, I'm an idiot, and I need your help, and I'll be less of an idiot tomorrow, but I need your help, people respond to that, and they did. They all laughed.
Beyond role-specific qualifications, what type of people, the qualities, do you look for when you hire team members? Can you dig into that a little more?
I want to meet the person that can motivate somebody. I don't motivate people. I give them good benefits. I give them a good place to work. I hold them to a high standard. They have to be motivated to do that. So people that say, well, I'm going to motivate you, I'd rather push somebody back than push somebody forward. I cannot push you forward. I can't get you up at 6 a.m. in the morning. I can't force you to be on time. I can't tell you to be excited about your job. Only you can tell yourself to be excited about your job. I can give you an environment that allows you to flourish. And if that motivates you, then you're motivated. But I cannot hope that you're going to be motivated. And I really don't have the inclination or want to motivate you. I don't care. Like, you have to come self-motivated, and if you don't come now, again, my job is to find extraordinary people, give them an environment that motivates them. Shame on me if I give them an environment that doesn't. And I have. Early in my career, I'm a very intense person, and I was very insecure, and I felt that all this pressure on me was intense. And instead of asking for help, instead of hiring extraordinary people, I just let them see my insecurities by being either too direct or an asshole. And that doesn't work. So my job is to find good people and give them an environment. But, everybody's got to stop trying to motivate people. You got to stop. Just it really it upsets me. You give them a great environment, but I'm not getting that kid off the couch if he doesn't want to get off the couch.
And as a leader, how do you achieve a healthy level of control without going too far into becoming a micromanager?
At the back of the book, it says, or in the book, it says, don't worry about the details, obsess over the details. If you understand the details, I was just talking to Tyler, who runs MCR, that owns the TWA Hotel out in Kennedy, and among many, many, many other hotels.
Hotel. Oh my
And
goodness.
he's just one of the smartest people I've ever spoken to in my life. I spoke to him yesterday on the podcast. If you haven't heard it, go on my LinkedIn or Glenn's LinkedIn and find it.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, so you did watch it. So he's one of the smartest people I've ever spoken to. He knows how to make a bed, and he knows what kind of dirt the building is made of, or is sitting on. And so if you know the details, that's your level of control. If you spend the time coming in early and reading the reports, you don't need to look at your profit and loss statement every day. You just know, just by walking around and by looking at reports in the morning, where you are. You know the occupancies, you know the average rates, you know how much food your food cost is, and you know where your P&L is. So if you know the details and you know where all the bodies are buried, then that's your control. You don't have to control people, you have to control details. You have to control information. You have to know the information. You have to know more information than anybody in the building. And you don't have to be an accountant, but you better know what the accountant's looking at.
Can you tell me about your relationships with Marc Summers and Leo Rossi? How central have these been for you in your career?
Well, a matter of fact, as I was talking to you, Marc Summers just called me. Well, Marc has been a person I can tap into when I need advice. I just showed him something, and I asked his advice, and he liked it. And I was like, I can't wait to get on the phone with him and say, you like something I did? Oh my God. So that's been more of a friendship and more of a person that we kind of, we kind of help each other out. Whereas Leo Rossi is, I get emotional. The moment I met him was at the Lucerne Hotel. If you don't know Leo Rossi, look him up on the line. He's been in 102 movies or 112 movies. And he was at the Lucerne Hotel and he was starring in Analyze This opposite Robert De Niro. And I didn't really know about the movie or anything. They were shooting it. And this gentleman dropped his script or whatever it was on the floor of the lobby. And instead of going to a meeting, I decided to help him with his script. And him and I became fast friends. And he's changed my life. Talking to you, it's because Leo Rossi. Going out to Vegas next week to do this presentation is because of Leo Rossi. Going and seeing you in Canada and Shannon asking me to do something for her and you asking me to do it, it's because of Leo Rossi. If Leo Rossi didn't see something in me that we come in the hotel and he would see me run the hotel and then he saw my personality and him and his wife, Lynn, were like, you should be doing this on TV. And so everything I did was from that moment meeting Leo Rossi. I don't think there's anything I do right now, from the podcast to my book to, my new show to my business, my consulting business, which is my bread and butter. That is all attributed to my friend Leo. And you know how you protect your family. Yeah, you don't want to mess with Leo in front of me.
You've got a new show coming. Can you offer us a preview of Hotel All Stars? What's the premise? What made you get back into TV?
Well, I have to hold it all for Wednesday. So
okay, all right.
I will tell you more about it. So I guess I can tell you a little bit because I've been sharing on social media. It's we need people in this industry. And it's about getting people in this industry, not people that know about the industry. You don't, you go where the fish are. You don't wait for the fish. You go where they are. So we got to go find people for this industry. That's what I'll tell you. And I partner with a really, really, really great person and company and association, and we'll announce that more next week. But you'll start seeing the clip of the show sometime after Wednesday.
In advance of this interview, I asked those in my LinkedIn community to submit their questions, and here's what some of them wanted to know. Audrey Colcherin asked, what do you see as the biggest challenge in hospitality when it comes to guest service? What are you running into?
Looking people in the eye. People want technology. People want electronic keys. People want they want to experience the hotel the way they want to experience the hotel. That's why you don't see paid movies in hotels anymore. Everybody brings their phone and everybody wants to hook up to a smart TV. Everybody wants Netflix and everybody wants streaming. If you don't have it, then people aren't living the way they live, and that's not good. It's about, you may only see one person where you used to see 3 or 4. Maybe you don't have a bellman, a doorman, a valet. Maybe you don't have even a front desk, but you have a housekeeper, and you'll see the housekeeper in the hallway. That moment, that touch point is critical because there's very few of them. And how many times have you gone to a hotel or anything, and that one person was nice to you, and all you remember is that one person, but all you talk about is how good that hotel is or how great that company is. But all you really remember is that one interaction with that one employee. So service is obviously vital, but you have to provide it the way people want. And when you do have that moment, you have to look people in the eye. You can't walk past people. It's almost really difficult for me to walk past an employee that doesn't look me in the eye. I literally say, good morning, how are you? How's everything? You're doing good? Doing great, great, great. Have a nice day. And sometimes they just look at me like this and walk away, but I'm not letting them get away with it. It's not hard, man. Look people in the eye and say hello.
Stephanie Ledger asked, are there any specific innovations or disruptions you see coming to the hotel business, whether
AI,
artificial intelligence or others?
That's disrupting the whole world, AI. Now, you can say, I had a friend of mine recently, I asked, are you using AI? And she said, yeah, but I don't really talk about it. It's like, why? If you're in marketing or you can use it to connect to a guest, why not? It's not cheating. It's you're using it. And 90% of the time I use it, I don't use it. Meaning I'll ask a question, I'll ask them to provide me information and ask them to write something, and 99 more than 90% of the time, I don't use it. So it's just like Googling or encyclopedia or anything else. So people that don't understand how important AI is going to be for the world. Now, I'm not smart enough to know if it's a danger to humanity, as the people that invented it are saying. But if you're using it for information and then still writing the paper and still writing the information, you're not cheating.
Well, Anthony, I've watched you on TV for years. It's been amazing learning from you today. I know you'll be speaking and signing books next week at High Tech. So I want to wish you a great show and just thank you for doing this.
That was quick.